Today I'm here at my salon and I'm doing the ultimate transformation on pretty much a blank canvas. However, it is going to be a little bit of a color correction and I'm talking full highlights, some hair extensions, and honestly I have no idea what I have in store for me today, so I'm super excited to get this project started. And if you're new here to my channel, my name is Mirella Manelli. I'm a hair educator who loves helping hairstylists simplify their skills and business, so please give this video a like, subscribe, share it with a hairstylist friend, and let's get right into this video and come inside my salon. Now before we get right into this consultation, I wanted to walk you through what I'm going to be using today. So for this video, I'm going to be using exclusively Schwarzkopf Professional. Now so many of you came at me in the comments of my Ultimate Bleach Lightener Guide series about testing BlondMe, and while it didn't do so well on the swatch, I thought why not do another video on an actual client and see how well it performs on a human head, because we know the natural heat from the hair can make a huge difference, the canvas we're working on. So I'm gonna give this a go on a client today. It's gonna be my first time in a really long time, like probably decades at this point, since I've used this bleach lightener. And just to kind of sweeten the deal here, I'm also gonna be using IGORA Vibrance. Now, I tested this on my channel and I really did love this collection. I ended up picking up some colors that I think I'm gonna use, but again, I've only used the natural series, the -00, to test it out on gray blending. So today I'm not really doing that. I'm going to be toning with it. So I'm a little nervous and hopefully I picked up the right shades. So let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, Melissa, what did you have in mind to do today?
I want to do a little cut.
Okay. Came with sound effects. You want to cut it that short?
Yeah, I think I want to cut some off.
Okay.
And then...
But you want extensions today too?
Yes.
Okay.
I want some highlights.
Okay.
Here.
Okay. How long are you wanting your extensions to be?
Probably 16 inches.
The 16 inches?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we do the 16 inch, we're not going to want to cut too much off because we definitely need to still allow it to blend, but we can absolutely add a little bit of a dusting to your ends, because I agree your ends need a... So I know you took a look at some of the colors, and I think once we decide like what color hair extensions you're kind of liking, we'll be able to determine what shade you want. But first, before we do that, what do you have on your hair right now?
Really nothing.
Nothing?
This is just a bunch of old hair.
Okay. When's the last time you got your hair done?
Maybe like a year ago.
A year ago? So have you done any color like in here? No. But this, yes.
Yeah. So a little bit of like highlights,
okay.
And then we went over with dark brown, and
okay.
then I think the highlights just like started coming out. Yeah.
So we have a little bit of fragile hair underneath. Like overall, how would you say the health of your hair is?
1 through 10?
Yeah.
Like a 6?
Okay. What are you using on it right now?
I'm using Divi.
Okay. And so you're using that for like hair growth?
Yes.
Okay.
Oil treatments, and then shampoo and conditioner.
Got it. Okay, cool. So let me show you some of the 16 inches that I have, and kind of we'll decide like how light you want to go and what you're kind of thinking. I kind of have an idea of what is going to be best for you, but I want to hear from you.
Okay.
So first we have this shade right here, and this is kind of like a really pretty brunette base with some highlights in it. This is the HBIC from my Manelli collection.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be like a really kind of soft, subtle transition. I think this is going to be really pretty. And obviously we can kind of customize this to match whatever we end up lifting you to. So this is one shade that you got going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then our other option, which is like my most popular one, this is the CEO. This one's going to be a little bit brighter. Okay, so here's side by side. You kind of have an
this
idea.
one for sure.
This one for sure?
I mean, this one's nice, but this ain't gonna happen. This one.
Do you want to maybe lift first and see how light we can get you before you decide? Or you're really liking this darker shade?
No, I like this one.
You like this one?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I think this one will definitely be really pretty on you, and it won't be as much damage to your natural hair for lifting and everything. And then as far as like the placement, this is going to be like right here. So you kind of see like what we'll be trimming off for the most part on your natural hair. And this will add a lot of fullness in kind of what you're lacking right now. Okay, so in order for us to do your highlight transformation, I definitely think we need to do a treatment on your hair so we can kind of repair it a little bit. And then of course the purchase of the extensions and the install is going to come out to $1,060. Does that work for you today?
Yeah, that's About the price you gave me over the phone.
All right, cool. So I'll go ahead and mix up and we'll get you started.
Okay.
Moment of truth, we're gonna go ahead and mix this up. Now this is a brand new one because I did give the other Bleach Lightener to my team and they already used it. So just like the last one, there is no scooper inside, and I learned that the reason why they don't have a scooper is because you need to buy one, and I'm just gonna go ahead and borrow from another lightener. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put in 1 scoop of this. So that's 25 grams right there. Now I heard that a lot of you guys like the 1 to 1.5 mixing ratio for the purpose of lift. So I'm gonna just go ahead and use my 20 vol here. And I do like this developer like a lot. I just love how rich and creamy it is. So I'm gonna do the 1 to 1.5. What's half of 25?
12.5.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So close enough to 1 to 1.5, so that we got that going on. Now, so far, like, I don't mind the smell. The smell's nice. It was a little dusty when I opened it up, just like it was on my Bleach Lightener series. And I am using a plastic whisk, but you can use the metal ones that are made for mixing because there's just different kinds of metals. But that's a whole nother video. So far, just like it did in my Bleach Lightener guide, it's like mixing up kind of like really thin. Now, I do know that this thickens up, so we'll see. We'll see how I like this as I put it on my client. I'm really hoping that you guys don't do me wrong with this one. All right, so I have my client already just kind of sectioned up. I'm just gonna do a little diamond section on the top because I want to take advantage of doing like a subtle money piece towards the front to kind of brighten up her face. And that's basically like taken on through the back here, so you can see we got this kind of V-shaped section. Now this is perfect for like a starting point for like a partial highlight. We're gonna be doing a full highlight on her though today, so we're gonna be doing the whole shebang. But this is kind of like one of my go-to placements. I have lots of go-to placements, but this is definitely one of them. And I'm gonna be doing like a lot of teasy lights throughout her hair because her hair is really thin and fine. I want the ultimate diffusion out of this, so that way we have those highs and lows to kind of mimic that hair extension color that she really likes. Now before I get started, just to kind of explain to you guys, I'm dealing with kind of a really interesting canvas. We've got some virgin hair going on here, and then we also have some darker pigment here with like previous highlights. So this is going to be a little bit like of a delicate application just because her hair is so fine. So I definitely want to like be cautious of that. So that's why, again, I'm going to go in with the TZ light. So I think we're just going to go kind of straight across here. And her hair is kind of fine. So to start off with like a little bit wider of a section is going to be totally fine. The good thing is she doesn't really have any bands or anything, but I'm really curious how this is going to lift. But this is like a really good example here. Like her hair is really light to me right in this zone. And then this dark pigment. So this will be like a fun test to see, you know, how well BlondMe does. Okay. So this is one of the things that like, it kind of feels thin to me. And I think that just comes down to like a preference of how you like your bleach lighteners. So I don't know if there's like a way to like thicken it up. It has been sitting in my bowl for a little bit, but that could be like one of the things that I know a lot of people like too, you know, they love that. It's easy to kind of like move and open it up in the hair. So for that, I will say it's not bad. It's not terrible. I just kind of like a thicker bleach lightener personally. So I have a little bit bigger of a section here. So I'm going to keep on with this TZ light application. I feel like she's got lots of different lengths going on. So I'm pretty confident that we're going to get a similar dimension like what we got on those hair extensions. That's ultimately my goal. I don't know, I'm feeling like maybe I do like the thinner feeling bleach lightener. Is that weird? I feel like I like the thicker lighteners just because they stay where they need to be, but I also feel like this one's doing this too. So completely different experience than doing the level 2 swatch, obviously. But it'll be cool to see like how well this processes on her head. I'm gonna keep getting this on here throughout the back of her head. And I did go into my local Cosmoprof store the other day when I was purchasing this, and I asked the manager what was their best selling bleach lightener in the entire store, and they did tell me it was BlondMe, which I was really surprised because, again, on my video it just did not do that well. So today is to see if this is where the magic happens on a real human head. Yeah, I don't know. I can see how, like, I mean, obviously I'm doing like fine hair today, but I can see like if you're doing like really thick or coarse hair, how a lot of hairstylists probably would like this one, because it does seem to like move through the hair and saturate really easily because it is thinner. So I like understand that. I was like low key, like not walking into this with high expectation, that I actually like how this feels applying it. I think once I do your blending sections towards the top, that might change my mind, but we shall see. So yeah, this is gonna be the moment of truth for me right here on this section, because this is where I'm gonna do my blending to see, because I'm not gonna take this up so high. I'm looking for the lift for sure. Like, I obviously have not seen that yet out of this bleach. So that's going to be the true test. Now, this is what I use bleach lightener for right here, is applying and blending. Like, what? Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. Let's keep blending here. This, all right, YouTube, you guys have officially convinced me so far with the application. We need to see the lift though, like I mentioned. Is it going to deliver the kind of lift that I need? Because let's be real, this is a delicate canvas. She needs the lift. She's got some fine, fragile hair. Is it going to remove that pigment? And is it going to lift it evenly? I did give it a hard job to do today, that's for sure. I am on my third bowl of lightener, and each bowl has had 25 grams of the bleach, so, or the powder. That seems like a lot for how like little bit of hair she has. Every time it's like super dusty. So let's go ahead and mix this up. So maybe like the 1 to 1.5 is probably good, but like I feel like if you want to make it stretch a little bit, like the 1 to 2 might be kind of nice, you know? Maybe even the 1 to 3. I have a friend that actually likes 1 to 3 with BlondMe, and she does a lot of dark hair.
Wouldn't the 1 to 3 like dilute it though?
Yeah, so that's kind of like the golden rule, right? Wider the mixing ratio, so the more developer you have in your bleach, the less alkalinity you're gonna have, because this is H2O2, all of your ammonia is in the powder. So the more powder to developer you have, you're gonna have a little bit more pow out of your bleach. But not all bleach lighteners kind of work like that. So I'm kind of curious, like, does the mixing ratio actually matter with this one? Maybe I'll test it on the front of her head, which is
Do you feel like it's slowing at all? Like,
okay, so that has been the #1 complaint across the board with a lot of people who have tried BlondMe, is that it does swell a lot. I'm not really experiencing that just yet, although I'm not doing like scalp foils, but doing what I'm doing today with like the teasy lights, I kind of don't see it yet. The only thing I'm a little concerned with is the processing time though, is because this does say 45 minutes. So it does kind of scare me sometimes when there's such a short processing window with bleach, just because after working with different bleach lighteners, and I know some work really rapidly and some are kind of like nicely slow paced, but realistically, like as a stylist, we're kind of like letting ish process for like hours, you know what I'm saying? So I just gotta keep my eye on this one. I've never used it before on a client, so like I said, the heat can make a huge change in how it's lifting.
or
but
no change?
yeah, so you know, so far we got 75 grams of powder on a thin client's head at a 1 to 1.5 mixing ratio.
And not even fully done with the back.
No, I'm not. After mixing up this third bowl of lightener, I left this foil like this, and you guys, it's already lifting. It's already lifting. Like, can you see the difference?
You can kind of see it.
You can kind of see it?
Yeah.
This looks like a level 5 brown already in comparison to this. Like, almost looks like a 3. Freaking 3. It's all very dark. So, okay.
Okay, so let's hurry it up before my hair fries in the bottom.
It's not gonna fry. I promise it's not gonna fry. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You're gonna survive. I'm also kind of purposely like getting this on really quickly as a regular stylist who's really busy behind the chair, just kind of, you know, like obviously you want to like do a good job and do your application great, but I'm also kind of like, okay, realistically, let's put this on in the salon because sometimes you ain't got time. I shouldn't probably be saying that in front of my client.
I was like, wait, what the?
So we're right here at the front and I'm going to continue on. Now, so far, like I would say like my only negatives about the Bleach Lightener, it's kind of thin. So I know I've already said that, but I kind of also don't mind it. I'm kind of learning that I kind of like it. And I would probably say another negative for me where it just kind of scores a little low is the flexibility in the processing time. I would love a lightener that kind of gives me that flexibility, especially when doing like big projects like this. And the smell's not bad as long as you're like, you know, as far as like the pluming of the lightener and as far as like, you know, mixing it up, you should be using gloves, right? Like that's what we should be doing.
As you're not using gloves.
As I'm not using gloves, I know. All right, so a little hot tip for you guys. I did 2 back-to-backs. This is gonna give us that like money piece like right here on that face frame along with the ones that I did it in the back. And then right here, like underneath this parietal ridge, this is where you wanna have that depth. That's why I took the entire triangular piece, teased this bad boy, and then weaved it. This is gonna give you so much dimension along with the depth that you're looking for on the interior. So we're gonna have nice highs and lows kind of happening here. So don't be afraid to add little pockets of depth. That was just like my little educator hat for the day.
I like that part with the little hat.
I just remembered something that I also kind of don't like about this bleach lightener. And this is just a preference for a lot of you hairstylists out there. I kind of low-key don't like the blue pigment in some of the bleach lighteners. Most of my reasoning for that is because it just plays a trick on your eye. You can't really see like the true lift sometimes as it's processing. But this will be kind of like interesting to see like how exactly this does lift, and after that processing time is done, how we're gonna see this canvas, how it's gonna appear to my eye, and then actually how it washes out once we remove it. Because sometimes it looks a lot lighter, but again, it's like a preference. And I think a lot of the times, like you get to learn how bleach lighteners work and you just know what the look of the hair is supposed to be in order for you to get that true level 9. Although we're not trying to go to level 9 with my client today. We're just trying to get dimension. I think I'm gonna put this last foil in right here and I'm gonna take a peek at the back just to kind of see like what's happening there, because it's been close to 30 minutes at this point. So I just wanna make sure that her hair is on track for where we need it to be, as well as the integrity, overall just look that we're trying to go for. So I went ahead and finished actually both sides. I totally forgot I was gonna check the back. So here we are. Let's see what's kind of going on back here. I'm gonna flip. Ooh, these feel super warm. They feel really warm. They feel like kind of almost hot. And I think this is kind of like what a lot of BlondMe users are feeling. Oh, and I do feel the swelly swell. I definitely feel the swelly swell going on inside of this. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so we got lots of warmth, lots of heat going on, and I can feel the swelling action. But let's take a peek at this bottom one, because I would say I've spent about 45 minutes. I haven't really looked at the time, but I would say I've spent about 45 minutes with just applying the back and the sides. I have not finished the top just yet. OMG. OMG. Look how blonde that is. I'm gonna wipe this off. I just gotta wipe this off. I have to wipe this off. I need to see. Because again, the blue plays a trick on your eye, so you just like don't know. I do see like this isn't as lifted as that. And that is to be expected because she does have color deposit. But honestly, I'm not mad about that. Like this is what we needed to lift her to. And overall, I mean, it looks pretty even considering she has like all of this old dye down here. So usually what I like to do after
I take down my bleach foil is I'll just start undoing my teasy light. It just makes it a lot easier when you go through and start washing your client out. Let's take a peek at this guy here. Okay, this one's not as exciting. It's still pretty late. It is pretty late, but opening this up, I'm like, little resaturation here. But yeah, I think it's because it's definitely like a thinner lightener. Even at the 1 to 1.5, it's not as thick as I'd like it to be, but I think for that reason, it's surprisingly doing a really good job. I'm gonna like let that bake. If that one's not quite there yet, I think what I'll do is I'll take this down once I'm done with the top. So it is working pretty quickly. I will give it that. The heat and the swelling a little bit for me is a little questionable, especially if I'm doing like a scalp light or something like that. But in this case of teasy lights, like where I'm not really worried about getting it all the way to the root, not a big deal. Definitely a reaction kind of happening here. So that could be just from whatever she had on her hair previously, could be like minerals. I mean, there's a plethora of reasons why it will feel hot and swell up. But if you're a BlondMe user and you experience this too, let me know down below what you do to mitigate that. If it's like a pre-treatment or if you have special instructions for your client, or maybe you don't experience it at all, just let me know down below in the comments. All right, how do you feel right now?
Good, a little heavy.
You feel a little heavy? These are feeling really hot. Do you feel hot
Yeah.
right now? You do?
I think I'm like sweating a little bit.
It does feel a little warm. I'm gonna take a peek back here. Ooh, wow. Okay. I think I need to show the camera this. So we just finished up putting in all of her foils. Like, check this top one out, okay? Like, this is not even the underneath. Like, that's pretty light. A little saturation there. And that's kind of like what I would normally do anyway, just like peek through and see what needs. But like, okay, what I'm noticing, hold on, let me open up a whole nother foil here before I do that. Just so I can show you guys like what I'm seeing out of this lightener. And again, if you're a BlondMe user, please give me all the tips down below. Because so far, I really am liking the lift, and I am liking the way it feels, like the viscosity as I'm applying it. But like, I am seeing how it's starting to kind of like swell, and it's almost like clumping together a little bit. And this is more along the lines of what I was expecting for lift. I don't know if you can kind of see that here. And that's only because she has like a lot of color going on. So I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna continue to let this guy process. Oh, we'll fix that in a minute. But yeah, these get really hot. So again, we're kind of past that 45-minute mark. I'm just gonna let her process. I'm gonna continue to watch them, maybe do a little bit of reapplication as I go through, mix up a lower volume developer, and just keep an eye on it. I'm gonna treat it like how I normally would. Now, of course, the main priority here is the integrity of the hair. That was one of the areas where there was a little bit more opportunity with the BlondMe, was in the integrity space. Again, I'm kind of like giving it a good challenge today though, because I am working on a delicate canvas here. So I'm gonna go ahead and like pause the camera because I really need to focus on like what's happening here in these foils. And when this is like almost done processing, I'm gonna bring you guys back so you can kind of see the lift of what we got with BlondMe. Wow, wow, wow. Oh my God. I legit, like, look at that. That looks so good. I'm still dealing with a little bit of like hotness from the foils, but you know what? Like, look how even this turned out. I did need to process it a little longer in order to get this kind of lift, but so the 45-minute thing like kind of wasn't applied here. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep taking these out and brushing this through. Probably shouldn't have done that. That looks so freaking good. Okay, I need to take a peek at like what's happening at the very top. Let me take the side out too. Wow, honestly, okay. I feel like at first, like when I was doing this, I wasn't really like saturating how I normally saturate. But it was because I was feeling like it was just going through. Like, this looks amazing. I'm so excited to wash this out. Let me just take a peek at the back. Like, what's or not the back, we are in the back, but let me see what's kind of happening with these top foils here. This is looking, I'm just kind of blown away at how even of a lift this is. I don't know if you can kind of see, but you really can't, like, it just ate through that color like so great. I am so freaking excited. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wash out the back. Now the front here was where we finished off, and even that looks good too, but it hasn't even been on for like the full amount of time. So I'm gonna let this process. I for sure need to rinse out the back though, just so we can like make sure the hair integrity is good, but we have no breakage, we have no nothing, got an even lift for the most part. I really love this canvas, super excited. Now, after taking a look at how her hair is lifting, I'm seeing a lot of warmth, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But my main goal is that I want to match it to her extensions. This is the type of tone that she's aiming for. You can see we have lots of 8s, 7s, some 6s in here, so lots of dimension. And that's essentially what I want to emulate. And I think we got that with the lift that we have. However, she did pull really warm. The initial lift that I saw didn't really reflect what I thought it was gonna look like, so it definitely has some orangey tones that I need to correct. So since Vibrance is new to me, I needed to pull up the chart. Now I know a lot of you guys do this, but here's the other kicker too. I am not used to like this European level system. I'm definitely used to more of the American level system, which uses letters, so numbers and then letters over here. So this is like what I'm pulling up. So after kind of taking a look at this, now I'm looking at this chart right here, and I would like to tone her at an 8 because she has a lot of 8s but with some 7s going on. So I'm almost kind of thinking like I definitely need some blue, I need some violet, but I'm okay with like a little beigey tone too. Now the beige is kind of like a muted gold according to Schwarzkopf. So I'm really liking the 7-24, but I think to introduce like the coolness, I'm gonna go with the 9-1 maybe. That's the blue violet. I kind of like digging that. I don't know, I might change my mind and do the 9-1 too, but that's basically like the color combo that I want to do. I didn't pick up like the 8-19, which is a blue violet. If you think that's like the wrong route, definitely let me know down below in the comments. I just want to get to this tone, so cross your fingers for me. Pray to the hair gods that we kind of get there. I'm gonna go ahead and check her foils right now because my timer just went off, and go ahead and wash her out, and I'll show you the canvas that I'm working on. All right, so I'm about to remove this, but look at how puffy this is. Can you see how much it swelled up? Like, look. So it definitely swelled up a ton, but we got a really good lift. Now it does look a little, this one in particular, like it looks a little warm from like here down, but I don't know, I feel like kind of comfortable with that. I think it's gonna still be okay with, you know, a 7 and a 9 that we're gonna hopefully make like an 8. You can even see too like how it pulled the warmth. But overall, I'm kind of liking this. I think this is going to work really good. I feel like also this is as much as we can push her hair. We've already processed for a while now. So I'm not mad about it. But again, once I rinse this off, you're going to see like how much this blue pigment from this Bleach Lightener really does play a trick on your eye, because it looks like it's super light, but it's actually not. Yeah, like even this little baby hair right here on the front hairline, her natural base just lifted so beautifully, but that old color just kind of, for some reason, right here in the front is having a little harder time. I was walking into this knowing that we were gonna have a little bit of a correction, that's for sure. And we're okay with this warmness that we got, because at the end of the day, the color that we're trying to achieve, it's not the coolest shade. I could definitely see that could be a concern for like doing scalp highlights. It didn't bleed through the foil though, it still stayed inside. I think if you just leave like maybe a little space, or I don't know if you have like a hack that you guys like doing for doing scalp highlights, like what do you do if it is swelling like that? you see how like much orange is in there now? You can really see like after we took that blue pigment off of her hair, just rinsing off the bleach lightener, you can see how much orange is going on in here. So this is definitely like a level 7. We have some 8s in here though, but for the most part it is a 7. So I might have to adjust my formula up just a little bit. I would like to go on the lighter side of a 7. I think I'll still add the 9, but we'll just kind of see. I washed out her hair. We got a really gorgeous canvas. I can tell that we're gonna get the same type of dimension, not the extensions offer, because that was our goal. But you can see the type of lift that we got. Lots of different variations of the highs and lows, but still a pretty orange canvas. Again, we have level 7 and level 8. Towards the top though, like right here along her hairline, we did get a much lighter lift. You can definitely see, and this is where her like virgin hair is. So I definitely can see a huge difference on virgin hair versus the hair that has previous hair dye. So lots of orange pieces. So I think at the end of the day, I need a little bit of the blue to control some of this orange. I do need some violet in there, of course, so we're not making it too ashy. We need something that is a 7, but on the lighter side of a 7. So I would like to do like a 7.5, maybe an 8. That would be my goal. Now, one of the negatives that remains true from the Ultimate Bleach Guide test is the lift and the neutralization, because as I was seeing it process, I was really wowed. And then as soon as the water hit it, I just kind of was like, wah, wah, wah. It just was left with a lot of warmth. So the neutralization part and the blue pigment in the lightener, I can't say did anything. I just would say it did absolutely nothing. We got a good lift and a relatively even canvas though, considering she kind of is a color correction. But I'm so glad I took off the lightener when I did, because again, her hair is a little fragile and you can see like we got a little bit of compromisation going on, but nothing that we can't shape, trim off, and the extensions will kind of camouflage as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix up and get her toner on. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with 6-0 and we're gonna do equal parts because 1-to-1 on the box. And I'm actually gonna use the 13 vol just because I do want a little bit of pigment shift on her hair. I want there to be that like natural warmth that just kind of like brightens her up just ever so slightly. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 20 grams of this and then 20 grams of our 13 ball. I just love how this smells. I think that's like my favorite thing about Vibrance. Okay, a little change of plans, just a small change. Okay, so I'm thinking, right, I need to control this orange and I need to control the orange at the level that we're at. So I do need the blue. Now, I really love the idea of the 7-24, but I don't think it's going to give me enough neutralization for the orange tones that I'm really looking for. Now, although the primary color from what I'm understanding is the 2, which is blue, and then the secondary light reflection is the muted gold or like beige, but just for like a little added endurance, I'm gonna add 7-1 to it, just like a little bit of this. So this is gonna be like, maybe I'll do like 1 ounce of this and a 1/4 ounce of this, and then we'll finish up with a 9-1. So that way we can like brighten up the level 7, but we're still maintaining like a blue violet base with the light reflection of the gold. So that's kind of like how my brain's working. Let me know down below in the comments if you think that's like a good idea or not, but I'm gonna go ahead and mix it up and hopefully this works out good. Oh, I'm gonna put this in a bottle. So we're gonna do 1 ounce of this bad boy. Beautimus. I'm gonna throw in, like I said, a 1/4 ounce of my 7-1. This does look pretty dark on the swatch card. I'm not gonna lie, like on the online pictures, I don't really want too much of that. That's kind of what scares me. Like the darker that you go with your blue and your violet, the more opaque it kind of looks. And these are kind of on the opaque side, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm excited to use alkaline. I feel like that's kind of what we need just to kind of shift it a little bit.
What color is that?
This is 9-1, and this is what's gonna lighten and brighten our level 7, because I don't want a true 7. I want like an 8. Okay, so the gel activator is what you would use to do your application in a bottle. Perfect. Wait, 120, we're gonna go to 130.
So we got it in the bottle. I think we're good to go. So I got two different formulas going on. I have the one at the root with the 6-0 with the 13 vol, and we're gonna blend that into the 6 with the gel applicator. So lots of different things kind of happening here, and I'm gonna wait to kind of mix this together. I'm feeling good about this formula.
So yeah, I think overall, like, her hair lifted pretty good, like, especially on this underside. So the heat definitely played a huge role. And I can tell a difference between the lift on the virgin hair versus like the ends. And you know, at the end of the day, that's kind of like all lighteners, I think. However, I just do really feel like this is pretty warm. And I would really still use like BlondMe on like a lighter canvas. It's kind of reminiscent of what I said in my other video. I just think like working on level 5 virgin, or like if you are working on someone really dark, it has to be like a virgin canvas for me to get like the type of lightness that I'm really looking for. Or I would feel really comfortable using this lightener on like level 6s and above for sure. Now, when it comes to vibrance, OMG, like I just love this, how it spreads. It's so, so nice. So right now I'm basically working on getting her roots on with the 6-0, and then I'm gonna apply it right to her mids and ends. Now I am gonna go ahead and do the full 20 minutes for this. I don't know if there's any wiggle room or variables when it comes to that, but keep in mind, like, I really do want there to be a base shift with this 6-0. I do love the option with an alkaline based color system that we're gonna have that. And yeah, and one of the things I just really like about this, it literally just spreads so easily. So now that I got that on, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and start putting this on. So let me shake this up a little bit. I'm so excited. It's the first time I'm using this gel, so let's go for it. Okay, I did not need that much. Did not need that much. Okay, this feels a little weird for me. I'm just so used to using a cream all the way through. But I like it. I like the idea that I do have like a quick application option. Okay, let's try this one more time. Yeah, don't need that much, Mirella. Don't need it. But yeah, that goes through really nicely. Now, one of the things I do like about Vibrance is that it has a lot of different options. It has a lot of versatility. You can do a base shift if you want. You can do deposit. You have the cream and then the gel activator. Honestly, I feel like it's your all-in-one go-to. So I'm really excited to see the type of deposit that I get from this, and I'm really hoping that I love it. Because again, this is the first time I'm using it on a client. Doing something on a swatch obviously is so different, and we kind of saw that today with using the Bleach Lightener on a client today. We got a much different type of process and end result for sure. Now, one of the things that I'm really hoping I'm doing correctly, because I am a big rule follower, however, I didn't really do too much research on this brand before trying it today, but I really hope that it's okay to do a cream 13 volt application into the 6. I don't know if that's like a super big no-no rule breaker. Oh, did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
So yeah, if I'm doing something incorrectly, please let me know in the comments. But I do love how nicely this gel activator is working. Like, I definitely feel like this could be really great for like bowl application for something really quick. I almost feel like I'm taking almost too thin of sections, but again, this is the first time I'm using it, so I just want to have that extra insurance. And so far, I mean, it looks like I'm getting some good control out of this. So I'm going to continue on with this application through the front. This will be really fun to see the base shift too, especially because she has fine hair. And that's, I would probably say that's like one of the complaints that people have about alkaline base, but I think if you like don't know how to use the alkaline base, then I can see how like you wouldn't like that if you're not expecting it to do that, you know? I like the base shift sometimes, in some cases. There's always like a purpose for that. Now, because I'm working here in the front, I want there to be some like uniformity with the way that it's looking or depositing on the front. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other side. So I just finished doing my application. It's already processing. It's honestly kind of freaking me out a little bit because it is oxidizing really quickly. I can't really see too much of the highlight, but then when I wipe this off, it's looking good. It's looking good. I just hope I didn't put too much blue in this formula, but so far it's doing great. I'm gonna go ahead and keep an eye on it. I know I'm supposed to do 20 minutes, but maybe out of anxiety, I might do a little less than that. We shall see. And once we're all done, I'm gonna show you the final results of her color before we even put it in the extensions to see if they even match. All right, Melissa, what do you think about your new color?
I love it. It's not too dark and it's not too light. So I really love how the highlights are coming out. I'm just super excited to see if the extensions are gonna match with this hair with these highlights in them.
Yeah, totally. So that is definitely the true test, is to see if we got a good match with the extensions. I haven't even colored them yet because I wanted to see kind of what was happening here with your canvas.
Yes.
Because you did pull a lot of orange throughout as you were lifting. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous with the toner. So I just felt like it might have been too much deposit, but I think the blue that we added in your toner just really controlled all of it, and we got a really gorgeous neutral kind of beigey tone out of it. I'm really loving it. So let's go ahead and see if we nailed this color. Dun 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 dun! OMG!
Oh yeah, they match really well.
Right? This looks really,
good.
really good. I think this is gonna be amazing. So yeah, we're just gonna add in one row so that way we get that nice fullness going on. But I really do think the formula that we used on you today,
It is a good match.
definitely complements your new hair color that you got going on.
I love it.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, it looks really good.
These turned out to be such a good match. The fact that we're kind of like working backwards here of just correcting Melissa's canvas to the extensions, and the fact that the formula of the blue, blue violet, and even the muted gold that we added in, or the beige tone, just really kind of brought all of this together. I'm really excited with just like how this turned out. So I'm gonna go ahead and install these really quickly, and then I'm gonna show you her final reveal. Now that we know these extensions are an exact match, I'm gonna be installing one row of 16-inch Manelli hair extensions in color HBIC. I think this color looks really beautiful on most dimensional brunettes. Anybody who has a dark canvas with subtle highs and lows throughout, this is the perfect shade for them. All right, you ready to see the final reveal with your hair extensions? Bum ba da bum.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. It's not too light and it's not too dark. It looks very natural. Like natural, but if that makes sense. Right, Brie? And I love that it blends very well, and it just has the little poof in the front of the little, you know, like a little blonde, like gives you a little face. I like the dimension in the front of the light, you know, blonde. Yeah,
Is this like the color that you were kind of
Yeah,
envisioning?
this is totally the color. I didn't want too light. I want it more like a natural. And I definitely like the length.
Yeah.
It looks a lot full.
Looks a lot fuller for sure. I love this on you. I think it looks really pretty and it complements you really well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now here's the final result. I think we totally nailed this entire look, matching it to her dream hair color to the hair extensions. My ultimate favorite part of this entire look is actually the base shift that we got right at the top. It looks really natural and blends seamlessly into my cool shade toner. Overall, I think the BlondMe Bleach Lightener did a really good job in giving me the type of lift that I needed. Now there were some hiccups with the type of warmth and underlying pigment that was exposed, but I really felt that the Vibrance did an amazing job of neutralizing all of those orangey yellow tones that were throughout. It did swell up quite a bit, and it also produced a lot of heat. So I don't know if this was just a one-off or something that kind of was underlying with her hair with mineral deposit or product
deposit. If you have this same issue with BlondMe Bleach powder lightener, please let me know down below in the comments. Now to sum up this entire video, I think the hair extensions really kind of brought this entire look together. Now while her hair color looks really great on its own, the hair extensions just give it that extra pop of fullness that she was really lacking when she first came in. Now that is a wrap. I really hoped you enjoyed this hair video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe. And like always, you can head on over to my website at MirellaManelli.com, sign up for my newsletter, and get education sent right to your inbox. If you're a hairstylist looking to elevate your hair game, you're not going to want to miss out on Airbnb University. It's an online subscription-based platform built specifically for hairstylists where you can level up your confidence and skill. All you have to do is head on over to airbnbuniversity.com to sign up. Let me know down below in the comments if you like this hair technique and if this is a bleach lightener that you would try. And definitely, you guys, give me all of the BlondMe tips because I need them. And like always, you can follow me on my other social platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, all under Mirella Manelli. I want to thank you so much for sticking with me to the end of this video, and I will see you in the next one.